Hey there, folks. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Uh, we are back at it again with the white vans. Wait, that's not the right one. Uh, we're back at it again with Neckbeard stories. We're continuing the saga of Hamalot, which is about Andu, and based on what we're seeing here, we're going to have someone new joining the fray, that's fun. But we're on part 8, or How to Disrespect My Sport. Having
Oof.
flashbacks to the hiking thing from Lady Saber.
Yep,
Just very heated there.
very heated.
Also, sorry for if for a bit we seemed kind of out of it. We just had some issues with the bot we usually use for recording.
So we're trying a new system now.
I'm really hoping that the tail end of the last recording didn't get fucked up because of that.
It might have.
Don't you put that on me.
I already did.
Please. No. But yeah. So. Yeah. So for those of you just joining out Romp through the wonderful world of beardism, I have 7 other stories out there, all of which are quite short, and all of which will give some context for any events described here. As usual, we will not be, with this story anyway, we will not be going over repeat characters, though I will point out that this time he has added the religious affiliation of himself, Lady K, and A. He and Lady K are Christian, A is agnostic.
Now that is a interesting development. Anyways, now new character. Haipu Bruno, Brazilian swimming instructor at the sports center near my uni. Swam for his country in some competition or another. Great at swimming and all around bro. Lifts with me sometimes and wrecks my life on the bench press.
I wish someone would wreck me on the bench press.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, but they didn't hear us talk about it.
No, I meant we've talked about this. That could kill you.
Only if you set weights up on it.
Hmm.
I don't know what King's into.
That's true.
Look, I just want someone to
Actually, I
fuck me
do
on a
know
really
what
uncomfortable
kinks
bed.
he's into.
I believe, like, we have already fully established that I am a card-carrying monster fucker.
He is.
Gee. Alrighty. Kyrie, basketball instructor at the same sports center. Short, well, 6'2", black, fast as hell, got mad handles on him. When we 1v1, he usually wins like 11-9.
Oh, fuck. McBeatus. Buckle up, boys, we got a new beard in town. One of the other beards at my uni, both great bond with Andrew. Now I'm tearing up. Skinny, repulsive, mommy issues, but actually kind of smart.
Mommy issues.
Oh, so like most of the people that are hyped for the new Resident Evil game. I never said I wasn't among them. I want the 9-foot tall vampire lady to fucking demolish me.
I'm 9'6" tall. Get
Nine
it
foot
right.
6. I think at a certain point you just stop adding the inches.
Are you sure you don't want to add those inches?
Gonna be adding a bit more than 6.
Ooh. Anyways, so this tale is set around a month after the previous story. And in the interim time, I screwed up all of my alpha points, took my testosterone pills, injected all my roids, and asked Lady K out. Luckily, she said yes to a film and a meal, and we sort of made it official. Oh, congratulations. And that nobody knows about it except for me, her, and Mr. A. That's all people really need to know. Anyway, the weekend after the day of reckoning, we decided that we were unfit to be called athletes anymore and went to the sports center to lift and do fast things without bodies to burn calories.
I know the R and the T key are like close together, and I'm not gonna fucking rag on this guy for like fucking minor typos in a Reddit post.
At the same time.
Without
said,
bodies.
"Oh my god!"
But without bodies. Do
Anyways.
fast things without bodies.
Can I?
The reason that I kind of low-key little screamed when Ichi-Chan was reading was because Cinnamon didn't want to stand on top of his carrier and flew right up to where my hairline is and then climbed up all the way to the top of my head, and I wasn't expecting it.
This
So,
is
yeah.
where I sit.
Yes.
Just fast things without body.
Anyways. Someone else had that idea too. As no sooner had we changed for our respective sports than in comes le cum de la cum of humanity. Yeah, following us into the building was none other than Andu and his BFF McBeatus. I try not to let them get to me as Lady K and I go through our lifting session with 2 mistreated rats trailing us, and I'm mostly successful.
I'll admit, though, this guy and splitting up paragraphs is a little bit...
He does
Anyway.
split them weirdly. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Alright.
Froth of the date?
until-
Wait. Because I could have swore it
What?
was creme de la creme. Which is why I was looking that up. And anyway.
Until we get to the basketball courts. After a quick change of clothes, it is as Lady K and I are warming up, shooting some hoops with Kyrie, that they approach us, challenging me to a little game with the catch of being the winner got Lady K. Oh, no.
Which...
Yeah, I feel like no girl would be okay with this anyway, because
Yeah.
I can see a lot of girls being offending, thinking, yeah, I'm an object to be won.
Yeah.
No.
This couple fucking beards walk up and is like, I'll play you for her.
Yeah, no. Oh, I could play for my country like the States if I trained up a bit, and Lady K is unusually tall for a woman, 5'11",
Nice.
and athletic too. So she holds her own. These guys were missing every shot from the free throw line, and both were quite obviously out of shape. Andu would make a good screen through, as he has both width as well as mass. He merely lacks all of the other key factors in a basketballer's physicality.
I'm guessing screen means that, like, someone... I guess, for lack of a better term, kind of like a blocker, basically? Like, someone who's supposed to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what it means.
I don't fucking know sports.
I
Yeah,
played
I don't know
basketball
sports.
very briefly in like elementary and middle school
Okay, I was about to say...
before my ankles
Oh.
got too bad and I had to stop.
I only know tennis. Maybe volleyball, but mostly tennis.
I know jack shit.
Grudgingly, I agreed to a 2v2 half-court game with street ball scoring rules, as if they knew what that meant. Now, basketball is technically a non-contact sport, I don't know which the street rules are, but it's fine.
Are the street rules different in the UK than they are in the States?
Maybe? I don't
Granted, it's
know.
the street scoring rules, not like the street, like, playing rules, so that's also different.
You're asking the person that's probably the least experienced with basketball. Because I was never into
Yeah,
basketball.
street rules are a lot different than official rules because street rules tend to be a bit more lenient about stuff like traveling with the ball and
Well,
stuff like that.
this is, like, it
Asking
specifically said
UK
street ball
versus
scoring
US.
rules, so I don't think it's about traveling, I think it's more about point value.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
because again, traveling, point value,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like it's literally just
Acceptable contact.
yeah, kind of.
Although you can get away with a lot of contact if you do it right. And boy,
Yep.
did I intend to do it right.
Oh
The no charge zone. Oh yeah. The no charge zone was not a thing as it was street ball, and I wanted to use this to my full advantage. I got Kyrie to toss the ball up in the air and didn't bother jumping to get it as Antu could barely make it an inch off the ground, whereas I had a 32-inch jump
Nice.
at the time. IIRC.
If I
Can't
recall
talk.
correctly, I believe is what that is.
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, I don't know either. I was just trying to figure out what on earth that could mean, and that was,
I think that's what it means. Let me double check.
yeah.
Like, I use some text slang, but I don't use a lot.
It's also an entirely different country we're talking here.
True.
Whole new nation of internet lingo.
Yes, IRC is an internet abbreviation that stands for if I recall correctly or if I remember correctly.
Right.
The more you know, kids.
Ba-da-da-da.
Gay.
Yay.
What's your point?
Anyways,
I got the ball. Pervert.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that that's being said. It's like, I got the ball. I'm just imagining
I got the ball and another ball.
some scene happening, like and all of a sudden this big major thing happens, and then the third wheel character or whatever just comes in back into the scene like, I got the ball.
Uh-huh. I got the ball. And
I got the
all
ball.
the
What are you
same.
guys doing? I would just leave. Or, I got the ball. That is a lot of dead bodies.
And passed to Lady K for an easy bucket, as they had left the hoop wide open and focused on me. Not smart when the other person is anywhere close to competence.
D.
This kind of thing happened again and again until McBeatus decided to mark her. At which point I drove past him and got the easy layup. And the easiest layup in the universe. Ugh. I can't even speak. Winning 11-0 in a best of 21-point game is no fun. So I decide to let McBeatus have the ball. Let him pass me without stopping him and didn't even react when he missed the layup by a mile.
Okay, so
He
I'm
just
guessing.
stood there and watched McBeatus try to shoot.
Yep. The game went on slowly, with some chill plays from me and Lady K and some clutch plays from the Beatus brothers. Despite the game having lasted for less than 10 minutes, both were dripping sweat and stinking like a pigsty. I was bored to tears and wanted to play Kyrie, so I got a hold of the ball, ankle broke McBeatus with the most basic crossover, and charged Andu, knocking him on his arse and wending him completely. Got the dunk too. Immediately, Andu starts to whine about how unfair we've been and how he hadn't played by the real rules of basketball, so it didn't count.
Hmm.
Homie, you're doing this to try and get laid. I think you've lost, like, the right to complain about playing by the real rules. I don't know what he was complaining about. I had a huge grease spot on the back of my Lakers jersey from boxing out Andu one too many times. Thing had to be burned. Also, Lady K won too, so she gets herself. Magnificent.
So he came in here, followed me around, challenged me to a match of my own sport for my own girlfriend, then bitched when his fat ass couldn't handle 10 minutes of sport. A real class act here, if you ask me. I was hot, covered in other people's sweat, and pretty pissed off. I needed a good swim to calm down. Part of my reasoning was they couldn't have anticipated us going swimming, right?
More wrong than an all-you-can-eat Dorito and Dew buffet.
That sounds awful.
Yep. More wrong than a morbidly obese, beard cosplaying Kratos.
Kratos.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm hitting a wall, man.
God of
At a
War.
gaming convention.
No.
It's been forever since I played God of War.
Dad of boy.
It has been forever since I've played God of War.
Actually, I know
Boy.
what cosplay he's talking about, and I'm going to post it in chat.
Oh man. I think I've at least seen a drawing of that one. Oh. It's like, granted, I'm not gonna fucking make fun of someone for their body type not fitting whatever they're cosplaying. I mean, I tend to go for characters who I kind of match the body type of, but I'm a skinny bastard, so.
Yeah, no, I don't make fun of people either, but like,
Yeah.
I know, it's a comic, and
Yeah, like the like the dude dressed as Wolverine and the dude dressed as Kratos, like telling a woman that she's too big to like cosplay a character.
and they're like
meanwhile, they've got like these
super big.
massive ass fucking guts.
Yeah, they got like big beer gut.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can find it, but I can't find it.
What happens if I just type Neckbeard cosplay?
Don't. You're gonna crash your computer.
Most of it is people as a joke dressing up as neckbeards. Like, a lot of these fuckers definitely know what they're doing here. That's... Okay, that's just Jared Nandon. It's world-renowned dipshit the quartering. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. Which, if you don't know who the quartering is, he's that dumbass who made several fucking videos on, just how much he hated the fucking main actress and, Captain Marvel. Because that's a movie people remember.
Yeah, one of the guys that I kind of work with was just bragging on Captain Marvel saying it was one of the stupidest Marvel things and da 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 and that.
Bitch, Thor 2 exists.
Yeah.
But I will like I
But
don't
he
think
was mostly ragging on it because it was like this female superhero that wasn't like, because he honestly is kind of a neckbeard.
yeah.
I really think he was mostly just ragging on it because it was a female superhero that wasn't like overtly sexualized.
Yeah, that was dumb. And I will, like the movie has a lot of problems, and I do feel like part of the issue with it is that Disney, because it was a female superhero, wasn't willing to actually take any real risks with the movie.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I agree, like the movie was like okay. It could have been better. But no, he was just ragging on
Yeah.
Captain Marvel in general.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, that like look, if you want to
Yeah.
rag on the movie, I can agree the movie wasn't as good as it could have been.
Like
But like
most of the non-Avengers, non-specifically Avengers, like fucking
Yeah.
Marvel movies, are just you can fucking miss them. They aren't very good. They're just kind of bland, forgettable.
well, it depends on what they are.
I said most, like I said, most of them.
Yeah.
The James Gunn, like Guardians of the Galaxy, those are good.
Yeah. Black Panther was pretty good.
Black Panther was pretty good. The CGI was a bit dodgy, but other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Doctor Strange was good.
Doctor Strange was good. Spider-Man ones are just kind of all right, honestly. As again,
Yeah.
it's the whole thing is like I enjoy them when I'm watching them, but nothing really sticks with me.
Well, it's also just because like Disney has to be really super careful with Spider-Man because
Yeah.
Sony still owns the rights to
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Well, it's kind of a similar situation. Like, part of the whole issue with Captain Marvel is at the end of the day, it feels more like it's just like suddenly an advertisement for the Air Force, because that's basically what happens with any movie that you have any sort of military hardware in, is that the military is very fucking stringent on how you portray them.
AKA Captain
Advertisement.
America.
Yeah, aka you have to advertise the military.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And, like, that is the whole thing. Like, I watched Captain Marvel, and I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, the characterization wasn't too strong. Like, it was just bland. And, like, people complain,
Yeah.
like, there were people that complained that it had, like, oh, this overbearing feminist message. And it's like, it didn't really have
Not
much of a feminist
really.
message at all.
No.
Most of those Disney, like, it's similar with the Disney remakes, in which, like, they make it seem like they're gonna have a feminist message, and then they just don't. They do, like, weak-ass fucking lean-in feminism bullshit, and it's like, great, so you're just pretending to say shit.
Mm-hmm.
Good example of this is just fucking Beauty and the Beast. Ugh. Fucking hate that one.
The remake.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the song Evermore though.
Yeah. It's just... We didn't need a scene where the Beast negged her.
Yeah. Like I liked it. I liked it because Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite movies. Like one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah.
So I will say like I liked it. I really, really enjoyed it, but I do agree there are some parts that could have been done better.
My whole thing is that these remakes, for the most part, like, back whenever I was watching any of them, all they've done is just remind me of how great the original movies are. And it's like, well, the original movies
a
did it
point.
better. Like, there's not a single thing that these movies have done better than the original.
Well, to a point.
No.
Because no.
I mean-
Listen, I am being serious on this. To a point, a lot of the originals are better, but there are some of them where the remake is a little bit better because it's not as culturally insensitive. Because look at it. Look. I'll tell you right
We're
now.
talking about
If
like
they
Mulan.
ever
Mulan, the
Mulan-
Mulan remake was bad. It was so bad that China
it was
tried,
so bad.
China tried to have it to where
I
like they
hate
were
it.
internally
I-
censored to where basically like Chinese citizens couldn't speak out negatively against the movie, but they still managed to do it anyway.
Yeah, I was not talking about Mulan.
The
So
Mulan remake was
I
fucking
was
awful.
talking about, what I was talking about is like the big one, right? The big one that I can think of right now.
Do you say Dumbo?
Peter. Dumbo did have a lot of racially
the
charged
Dumbo
stuff in it.
The original Dumbo had racial insensitivity. The whole thing with the remakes, though, is that they're trying to justify their own existence by being critiques of the originals, but they aren't actually looking at any of the problems people had with the
Right.
originals.
No, but like what I'm saying, like in terms of like comparison, I know this is technically not a remake because it was made by a different company, but it's a great comparison in a sense. The Peter Pan. If you look at the original animated from Disney,
Yeah.
basically all of the scenes involving the native tribe
Really
and
racist.
the song,
Yeah.
super, super racist.
Yeah.
I do not like the original Disney one. The one I like, and part of it is because I am a thirsty child. I was a thirsty child and I am a thirsty adult, was the live action Peter Pan. You know which one I'm talking about. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Captain Hook was
I
a
have no
total
clue.
fucking babe. But they
The
told the
2003
story.
The 2003 one?
Yes.
Well, like, okay, isn't that
I know
like
it
a
wasn't
completely
Disney.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a
It wasn't
completely
Disney.
different story.
I said that at the fucking shut up. I said that at the beginning. I said I know it wasn't a Disney movie. But this isn't a thing where but it was technically considered a remake because it kind of followed the Disney path in a sense. But that's what I'm saying is like,
But
Is there any?
that
Has there
doesn't
ever
fit
been
in with
any
what your
good remake of
justification
the
earlier was,
original?
though.
no.
Like, that's not the same thing, then.
That's not what I'm fucking saying. Okay, what I'm saying is in these cases, some of these newer versions of these classic tales are just depending on how it's done. What I'm saying is like the Disney sometimes they manage to get one or two little things right and they're acknowledging correcting stuff, but at the same time the way they do it is like sweep it under the rug. I'm going to kind of do these little things I don't really care much.
Like, they
But what I'm
pretend,
saying is like they pretend it didn't happen. They pretend it
which
didn't
isn't a
happen and
good
they
thing.
try to like fix it, which is not a good thing. It's okay to acknowledge that it happened and been like, look, this was what it was of that time. We acknowledge now that that was not okay. So here's what we're going to do with these remakes to acknowledge that there was mistakes made in the past and how we can change with the times. But they don't do that.
They don't.
So that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like is like a lot of people are like, oh, I like these OG stuff, and I'm going to admit, no, they're not that great. Like I said, I love Peter Pan, but when I say I love Peter Pan, I do not mean the Disney animated. I mean the newer stuff, like the 2003 Peter Pan with the really cute Peter Pan boy and the really hot hot Captain Hook, or the one with Robin Williams, Hook. That was a good one.
Yeah, but that's not like that
But-
doesn't fit into the discussion of the Disney live action remakes, though.
I
Been a
That
really
kind of
good
does.
Disney,
Well, it kind
live
of does
remake.
because what I'm saying is I don't.
because I'm not sure.
I'm acknowledging that Disney has made the mistakes and Disney is not fixing their mistakes, so they're not good. And I'm saying these other companies
Well, then that's
are doing better, doing what Disney should have done is what I am saying. Because look, they made Hook following that whole Peter Pan story, but didn't have all that fucking like racism. They didn't bring it back with it being like, oh, well, this is part of like these original Peter Pan stories. No.
This is like,
Same thing with the
how the
2003
fuck did
one.
we?
You
ended up
started it.
no, you went completely tangential to what I was talking about. I
No, I
was talking about
didn't.
one thing and
No,
you
I
went completely
didn't.
off the side of it. I was talking
No, I
about how the
didn't.
live action Disney remakes are just absolutely pointless, and their entire thing is just that you could just be watching the originals. And you
Yes.
went off on stuff made by other companies and how you
No.
should be watching. That's literally what you just did.
That's not what I
Yes, you
did.
did.
No, I didn't. What I was literally saying was like, if what I was trying to say was like, if Disney decided to remake Peter Pan, they should follow what those other companies did instead of doing what they've done with these other remakes where they just sweep it on the rug and put a little band-aid over it. That's literally all I was trying to say, and then you started saying all this other stuff that confused me and made me go off on that. But that was literally the point I was trying to get to. Was if like say they wanted to remake, they need to follow what these other movies did and just tell that story. Acknowledge that that part in the old one was really, really racist and fucked up, and don't just try to put a band-aid over it and keep those same characters. Because if you go and
Been
read
a
the
good
original Peter
Disney
Pan
remake
like
though,
stories, like
because
Tiger
I
Lily
don't
and all that weren't
know.
in those stories, if I remember correctly.
Because I honestly don't know if there was ever a really good Disney remake.
There wasn't a good one, but the only real watchable one, honestly, is Maleficent, because at least it's different enough from the
Yes.
original that can be counted different. I mean, it can be counted as its
Yes.
Okay,
own thing.
Maleficent I enjoy.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
not
admit
gonna
to
Yeah.
that
ever
one.
say that Maleficent's good, but I enjoy Maleficent. The rest of them, it's just like, why the
I haven't
fuck would
seen
I
the
ever
new
watch this?
one.
Like, the rest of it,
Seen
it's
the new
always
one
just,
either. The
like,
only other one that I'll semi-acknowledge maybe is probably the Beauty and the Beast one, only because I really like the new song that they added to it,
Yeah,
which I thought
Evermore.
was
yeah,
really good. Yeah,
And I
every,
like how they
everything
I
else
like
was
how
just
they
so,
went more into how the beast became the beast, because the original one just kind of gave you that very short glossed over like beginning intro, but didn't really like go into a lot of the past detail and didn't really explain how all the villagers, just didn't know that this castle existed.
but that,
So I like how
the,
they did,
is that whole,
because they just kind of, where it was like, oh, everybody, because of the curse, just kind of forgot the castle existed and the beast existed and all this stuff like that. And then you had like these characters being like, there's things that I'm forgetting, but I can't remember what they were.
but like, part of the
And
whole
then
thing
they
is
fix, like,
they added that setup, but they didn't actually do anything with it.
yeah, they did. They
Not
did some stuff
really.
with it.
Not anything that actually mattered though. It was
Eh,
just, oh, well,
look,
some guy on YouTube did that whole thing of like, it's kind of messed up that the Beast must have like agreed to this whole thing when he was a child. Like ended up doing this whole thing when he was a child. That's kind of messed up. Why don't we just actually like go into the backstory? And then
yeah.
never actually had that tie into anything properly. It was
Like
just
I said,
some
it could, like,
nitpicker on YouTube
I,
that no one cared about said a thing. We gotta address it.
like I said, they're what, like, they, like with this one, like I said, they kind of explained more. I agree that they could have done more to make it tie in better,
They could have
but
just
I
not
like that
bothered
they
with
at
it.
least. But that was the whole thing of like the original story too, though.
Well, you don't need to do this whole in-depth backstory, though. Like,
And
what
I
you,
wasn't saying that they needed to do an in-depth fucking backstory.
like,
I'm just saying that I like that they actually tried to explain it a little bit more by, like, just kind of like tying in some stuff. And agree, they could have done it a little bit better to make it less, like, I guess, confusing for other people. But for me, I liked it. That's my personal opinion. I liked it.
Yeah.
I agree that you, in your personal opinion, did not like it. I get that.
I just felt that they didn't need to do that.
And that is your opinion, and I respect that. I'm sitting here telling you, I respect your opinion. I'm not one of those toxic fans being like, oh my god, your opinion's wrong.
I'm trying to explain where I'm coming from, and you're not... the original movie isn't made any worse by not having that. Because you didn't need it.
And I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm just saying I liked that they did that because I am a big fan of the Beauty and the Beast story in general. I like all the different retellings of it because I like the story. Is literally just what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I agree, there are some parts in different story retellings that didn't really seem necessary or seemed really odd or kind of like meh. But again, it's just depending on who tells the story and how they tell it. And not everybody's going to like every version of it.
Make me want to look up on YouTube or pirate and see that movie again, just for curiosity purposes.
Anyway.
We went on a movie tangent from a Neckbeard story. Who knew? Okay, I think it is... Let's see.
Who mentioned Kratos last? It was you, so it's my line then.
Me. It's Llytic's line.
Yeah. Friendly bit of advice. Never expose Milady's skin in the presence of one or more neckbeards. I can be thankful that it was a competition swimsuit that Lady K was wearing. I don't know, some of them fuckers will fetishize that shit too. As those generally cover a lot of the body. Either way, Lady K and I changed once more, hit the showers, and then got into the pool. She thought that I was a bit cocky after the basketball game, and so proceeded to ruin my day by annihilating me in the swimming links department. Soon after, however, I noticed a very fat shadow under the water, and in my head the Jaws theme began to play. We swam frantically to the side of the pool, but we were too slow as Lady K was torn from my side as the water turned red, and chunks of flesh floated past me. I screamed. Lady K had been devoured. Or something, I don't know.
It may have just been that the beard felt the sudden urge to compliment Milady, or to offer her a way out from her abusive relationship, where the guy said horrible things like, oh man, you look beautiful, or slurs like, hey gorgeous. What he said was, Lady K, you don't have to go through that with this. There's a better way, a way that you can be loved and cherished for who you are, rather than your physical features. You don't have to starve yourself and conform to his thin ideals of beauty. You don't have to whore yourself out to an unloving man by wearing revealing clothes and performing services for him. Excuse me, what if that makes me feel empowered? What if I wanted to wear a skimpy little outfit and cook dinner for my man or my woman? Like, meh.
I don't know why, like the forks are...
If I want to wear the Yoshi outfit and cook dinner for my partner, then goddamn it, I will.
Do
a little Yoshi thing with your tongue. Little.
I mean, hey, what'd that tongue do?
Well.
What the fuck?
I really want to know. What I really want to know is why he thought that she performed services to me. Perhaps his wet dream fantasies?
Also, as previously mentioned, this girl can apparently squat, or was it squat or bench press? Which was it?
I think bench press.
Bench press. She can bench press more than I weigh. So I don't think that she's trying to go for skinny. I'm gonna be real with ya.
I don't
probably
think so.
Toned. Like, she's probably not super muscular, but she's at least toned.
Yeah, at very least. Which that also has to do with, like, calorie intake compared to exercise and all that sort of stuff. Uh, bulk versus cut, that sort of thing. But yeah. Like, I don't think she's going for skinny. Either way, he was being a general nice guy, trademark, and obviously felt like he deserved something from her, even though all he had done to her in the even after all he had done to her in the short while that he knew her.
Bang on her door and scare the crap out of her.
Yikes.
Lady K was sick of this guy's crap. How about you leave me the hell alone and stick your acne-ridden nose in someone else's crotch? I am loved for who I am, as well as my physical features. My body is my choice and none of your business, you grease-ridden freak. Tell him, sister. And for your information, I feel beautiful myself and don't require so-called nice guys to tell me that I'm beautiful, and any services that I give to my boyfriend are completely my business, not yours. He doesn't choose how I dress or tell me where to kiss him because he treats me as an independent human being capable of thought outside of what others think of me. Amen. We left the pool very quickly after that, changing once again and returning to campus and having a cathartic makeout session in my room while Mr. A was out and about.
Well.
It was about time that Lady K snapped, and boy did she make a scene in the middle of a public swimming pool. Even the memories make me giggle from time to time.
Memories. Okay, on to part 9. Lord of the Hams part 9, or Christmas.
Christmas.
Let me put the link in.
Please put the link in.
Link.
Give me that link.
What?
Baby.
I swear this session has gone from like aggressive, like horny to aggressive to horny again, and I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Give me that link, Daddy.
I already put the link in. On that domain shit, grown man, don't at me, because when your baddie link up, she be saying, "Go, daddy." If you know, you know.
GoDaddy.com.
Oh my god. I just remember like the commercial that had just like fucking Danica Patrick pull out like like, was it an animatronic beaver or was it an actual live beaver?
I have no clue.
But it's like, wow, you're not even being subtle. Lord of the Hams Part 9, or Christmas. This story begins just after Christmas exams at uni, and the time between finishing them and returning home. I love Christmas, and this Christmas was especially good for soon-to-be-disclosed reasons.
Alright, got your normal cast.
And then...
And now we get a new characters! Mum. My mum. About 53, gray hair, but the nicest woman that you'll ever meet. So kind and everything. Christian, too. Cooks like a Michelin-starred chef.
Well, considering the fact... I was about to say, like, considering the fact that, like, you know, your mother, I'd kind of expect that that's the case. Like, religious... Anyway.
I'm not gonna be sexual with this because that's just wrong. Dad.
Please.
My dad. About 54, PhD in maths. Very smart, a Christian, and always tries to do his best for all of his kids. But sometimes he doesn't manage. All around fantastic guy.
Enabler. Andrew's mom. Quite a nice woman, but spoils her only child. Andrew hates her, but she's actually very kind and compassionate. Friend of my cousin's. I bet you can see where this story is going now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Now, Christmas parties at uni are the thing to go to. Everyone drinks, everyone parties, and usually play a bunch of kids' games that are actually really fun, like musical chairs or Twister. The loser has to down their drink, of course. Mr. A had left campus early as his family were going abroad, and he got permission to leave immediately after exams.
I haven't played Twister
So
in
he
a
wasn't
fucking
there.
while.
Mr. A is usually the guy you want at a party, so it was sad that he had to go. Everyone was invited, and a bunch of people came to the party, which was held at this huge house rented by like 15 people in the year above. Lady K and I went, obviously making everyone else look like,
Deep breaths.
Again,
dude, turn down your vanity and ego a bit.
Like, I get it's done ironically as a joke.
Anyways, make everyone else look like ugly crack whores in comparison to our gorgeous visages. I don't fucking know.
It's like when me and Ichi-Tan walk into a room.
Damn right. It was about 1 a.m. and people were starting to get really, really drunk. Myself and Lady K included. We went and found a quiet room, the attic, if I recall correctly, and did couple stuff for a while. I found this out later from a girl in the year above, but apparently some large, foul-smelling guy had been asking after Lady K and giggling to himself.
Ew.
According to her, he had been holding something behind his back that he didn't want anyone else to see and giggling to himself, undeterred in the way that only drunken 20-year-olds can be. We remained at the party until about 3-ish, by which time the lesser mortals had begun passing out. We had to sneak back into campus, a big task when you're having trouble walking in a straight line, and then we had to quietly enter my room and spend the rest of the night there. The weirdness doesn't end there, though, as we later found out that someone tried to enter Lady K's room in the middle of the night but was unsuccessful as they didn't have the key and they were too weak to break the door. Pretty scary stuff.
I think, like, the whole thing with the previous, like, joke about making everyone look less attractive in comparison. I think part of that might just be that stuff like that doesn't track as well in text because of the fact that, like, you can't get a read on the person's tone as easily.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that's said out loud you could have an easier time getting away with than, like, writing
like,
up.
I joke sometimes about myself.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, the reason why stuff like that hasn't been working as well in this story. Because, like, some of this stuff is stuff that I would say.
Yeah, because, like, I know there's a lot of times, like, I will say that about myself out loud, but in a text context, it can be kind of meh.
Like, you don't have the same delivery when you do it through text as you do through, like, verbally. Like, something that sounds funny when said out loud, if you were to just write it out, ends up coming off a bit trite.
One's hangover is bad enough. Nursing one's own hangover and your girlfriend's too is nearly impossible.
Fun.
I had a kettle and some instant coffee in my room, and that helped a little, but then I had to once again do the task of getting Lady K some clean clothes to wear, as some of them had vanished during the night.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping... Oh, no. Wait. I'm hoping that was their activities that led to that.
I think it would be theirs.
Okay.
I think they're talking about when they were in the attic.
They fucked. Got it. Yep.
Yes. And our hungover brains couldn't figure out where the hell they disappeared to.
Stuff down the side of the bed.
They're in that person's attic.
Or that.
When I got to her door, I noticed a lot of deep scratches around the handle, and the lock was a bit stiff, but the door opened eventually.
Oh boy. Returning to my room, I made another coffee for each of us and handed Lady K her clothes before starting to pack up all my stuff so I could take it with me, as we had to clear out our rooms at the end of every term, semester. Oh, fuck. Oh, that one hurt.
You good?
No. Oh. Mm. Not a fan of beer brats. Anyway. I also packed a bunch of Lady K stuff that had gravitated to my room into a separate bag so that she could properly pack it later. After she was done in the shower, we switched places. She packed all of the stuff in my room, and I showered. It was just as I was coming out of the water that there was a knock on the door, and I answered, wearing just a towel around my waist to show off my impeccable masculinity. Surprise, surprise, it was Andu. Yeah, like, I think that kind of gets that, like, you can't get, like, that, like, good delivery for that through text.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're to do it verbally, you have to have just suave enough of a voice to do it. I do not. Zero line.
Oh. Oh. Hey, Festus. Is Lady K in there? I consider the mound of blubber before me, like a slightly evolved whale, with none of the natural beauty of whales. Oof. Now, something that you've got to understand about Lady K is when she's very mischievous and will prank the living hell out of someone if they open themselves up to it. Like Attenborough regarding a seal pup devoured by an orca. I watched in fascination as she mouths, "Keep him busy" to me.
Oh boy.
With great masculinity and undeniable charm, I stutter out, "Yeah, she's just getting out of the shower right now. You can wait for a bit if you want." Hook, line, and sinker. He bought the prank. Lady K quickly and out of sight of the door stripped down to her underwear, wrapped a towel around her body as if she had just come out of the shower. Implication was a shower with me.
Mm-hmm.
She steps up to the door, leaning on my shoulder, and says, "Oh, hey, Andu. Festus and I are a bit busy at the moment. Could you say what you wanted to say?" Andu is speechless, red all over, and quivering in fear. For once, he got social cues and the obvious implications that we were putting down. Shaking, he pulled from behind his back a large purple-wrapped Christmas present with gaudy ribbons and gave it to her with two hands. Lady K took the gift, thanked him, and made to close the door. However, before she could fully close the door, he managed to get out. "I hope you enjoy using the gift despite whatever kind of relationship you are in at the moment. Always remember there are other better guys for you out there."
Oh, me what?
I'm so sorry you have to read that, Jess.
I don't.
I guess to lighten up the mood on the whole, like, not noticing social cues things, have you heard, like, any of the stories, like, that, like, Mark Hamill had back in, like, regarding the behind-the-scenes stuff going on with, like, the original Star Wars movies and shit?
Mm.
Apparently he was just, like, completely clueless, like, to any of the times that, like, Carrie Fisher and I forgot his name. He played Harrison Ford. Like any of the times, like Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford were trying to get it on, And so he'd just like roll up, not realize that's what they were about to do, and just strike up a conversation. I don't know.
Who's drawing what I have to read?
Yeah.
Okay. Intrigued, we opened the gift very tentatively. And what was inside? A whole lot of atheist literature. The God Delusion, Self Gene, and the Blind Watchmaker were among them. And a very obviously open box containing a pink vibrator and a tube of lube. I wish I could say that I was making this up, but I'm not. The sick bastard got my girlfriend a vibrator and told her to enjoy using it. Vomits. I did not trust this vibrator, as the box had been very obviously disturbed. I threw it from the highest mountain into the fires of Mount Doom, and then nuked it to dispose of it. Or I put it in the bin. One way or the other, I didn't want to think about why the box containing the items had been opened, and I definitely didn't want Lady K to use anything he touched. Ever.
So needless to say, I brought out the stop sign.
I don't know why. I was just getting my lotion and putting it on my hands.
Well, it was mostly in regards
My
to what was going
eczema's
on.
been really.
But you did also decide to make the motion of jacking off right there. So,
I did no such thing. I was shaking my lotion bottle. It gets liquidy sometimes.
I mean, at the end of the
See?
day, it's your word against mine, so.
It's my eczema lotion. My hands are very dried out and cracked right now.
that may be the case,
Are
but you
y'all not
did do a
behaving
gesture of jacking
on
off.
the cameras? You'll need to behave better on cam.
Oof.
For what? You're gonna punish me?
Only for you.
Hey there,
I'm
folks.
dying.
If you want to see our fucking mugs saying this shit, then consider becoming a patron. Doing so will, depending on which tier you go with, you'll be able to go into the private Discord the Discord server that we use to record these, and you'll be able to witness this bullshit live.
Said that we were gonna show our faces.
Ah, yes, cock cam.
That came from your mind. I didn't say that.
You know what else, Cam?
Anyway,
See what you want.
after finishing packing my room up, we relocated to Lady K's room, packing all of her stuff up and then cleaning the room as a team. Just as we had done mine. Halfway through, the girl from the room across the hall came in to tell us she'd heard scrambling and scratching at Lady K's door during the night, accompanied by some heavy breathing and finished off by the slams of a weak shoulder against a door.
Oof.
Bringing back out the stop sign. We dismissed the events as just Andrew being a freak as usual and went on packing.
Now, for the last few years, Lady K's family, just her mom and dad, have invited me around for a week. Then, after Christmas, my family has invited Lady K around for a week leading up to the new year. This year was no different, but I'm going to skip the week with Lady K's family and the actual Christmas day and go straight to when Lady K and I are with my mom and my dad. Preparing to travel up the country to visit my cousins for the New Year's. It's about a 5-hour drive, which is long for the UK. Go away, Americans and Aussies. I know your countries are big.
You know what else is big?
So, shut the fuck up. Mine's bigger.
Oh, you know it, baby. That's what I love about you.
Hmm. So we set off quite early so that we could arrive for lunch time. I was wearing one of the gifts that Lady K got me for Christmas, an engraved stone threaded time.
What? You all right there?
Oh, sorry. Like my brain for some reason. Sorry, an engraved stone threaded onto some soft paracord and hung around my neck, and she was wearing the small silver bracelet that I got her. Being 21 by this point and a very responsible adult, I drove my ancient little car up with me and Lady K inside, and my mom drove herself and my dad up. Upon arrival at my cousin's huge house, I noticed a strange odor, like crushed and stale Doritos mixed with Domino's pizza and blended into a milkshake,
That sounds awful.
as well as the thick sweat that only certain people can produce. My cousins are lovely people, but a bit too accepting at times, and to their eternal shame, they had invited over a family friend and her repulsive offspring. Of course, it was Enabler and Andu.
Oh, fun.
Known the Enabler for quite a while, but I hadn't known that her son was Andu, or rather, I had hoped that he was not. The first thing she said to me was, "Well, Fiestas." Festa. I don't know why my brain changed Festas
Party
to
time.
Fiestas. He's a party boy.
Party animal.
My Andu tells me that you two enjoy your first time at university together. I hope he hasn't been getting up to no good with any of the girls on campus. I almost told her. Almost.
Yeah, he tried to break into my girlfriend's dorm.
He gave my girlfriend a used vibrator for a Christmas present.
I think the used part is the worst. I'll be real. I don't think you can really get away with getting like any sort of like sex thing secondhand. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Look. Let's be realistic, and as disgusting as the idea is, it's probably not used in the sense that y'all are thinking. It's probably he either put some of his own fluids onto it or used it himself.
Wait, okay, here's other possibility. Set where it was prepackaged with a tube of lube. He opened it up, emptied out the bottle of lube, and refilled it.
Oh no.
Anyway.
No. No.
Have I said the most awful thing in my entire career? Probably.
Probably.
Honey, how are you pregnant when we
Look,
use
it's pretty
condoms?
bad, but it's not
And it's-
as bad as some of the stuff you have said.
Yeah, but like half the shit I say is cursed.
More like 85% of the stuff you say is cursed. And that's me being generous.
The stuff on Earth that I didn't cheat on you. I don't know how I'm pregnant since we used condoms.
Okay, if it survived in that tube, that's another problem.
We don't know when he refilled it. And how recent she used it.
Hey, is it just me or is
Look,
this weirdly
Those
warm?
grunts and thuds probably weren't him trying to break into the room. It's probably him doing something else.
It was actually freshly wrapped. It was a freshly wrapped gift. Like 5 seconds before. It's
Ooh,
also just such a weird fucking combination.
who came up with this and we're just riding with it?
Like, yeah, I'm gonna put in, like, some fucking Dawkins and, like, other, like, fucking early atheist movement shit. And a vibrator. And say what you will about, like, the fucking
That
early
way she
atheist.
can get off on the same shit I do.
I mean, I do stroke it to Dawkins. But, regardless, like, say what you will about, like, whatever the fuck you care about, like fucking religion and whatnot. I don't give a shit. But the early atheist
Mood.
movement was sexist as hell.
Oh yeah, big
Like,
time.
that shit, there's a reason why fucking Neckbeards glomped onto that shit, because that didn't actually do any of the issues of, like, the systemic, like, sexism that is and was ingrained in, like, so many fucking organized religions. And unorganized religions. Really, any religion. Like, unless you homebrew your religion, there's gonna be sexism.
Homebrew your religion, bruh.
Like, at the end of the day, there is going to be some weird sexist bullshit.
All day, every day.
Like, hell, don't even get me started on, like, the whole thing. Like, when you get down to it, the story of Pandora is really just the Greeks trying to explain why they, like, give an explanation for why they hate women so much. Hated women. I don't know what the situation with modern Greece is, but literally, like, their whole thing is that the Greek philosophy in regards to, like, women was that their entire existence just, like, made men's lives awful and distracted them from time with the boys.
Oh yes, that is what I like to do as well.
Yeah.
Technically no, because I am non-binary now, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Ichi-Tan, stop distracting me from other men.
All day, every day.
You're making it hard for me to focus on other men.
Good.
With your constant need.
Good. That means I'm doing my job.
But no, that's not even getting into the fact that, like, if we go off of... Because myths exist for two reasons. There are myths as explanation and myths as propaganda. A good example of myths as propaganda is the entirety of U.S. history as told by schools. I wish I was kidding. The third president
I know
was a
you're not
pedophile.
kidding, that's why I laughed.
Dude knocked up a fucking 14-year-old slave. That is wrong in several ways. Besides the point. But, yeah, like... And so if we were to pretend that there is any form of, like, definitive mythology, like with Greeks, there is the whole thing of, like, when people... Fuck! I backhanded
When people fucked?
I backhanded my fucking webcam. There was a whole thing of, like, when people first came into existence, like, each person was essentially two people fused together and all that shit, and then Zeus was like, no, they'll be too powerful if they're, like, fulfilled, so I'm gonna separate them and they're gonna have to work to find their soulmates. Bear in mind that this predates the existence of women, according to the Greeks.
So everybody was just hella gay.
Well, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, anyway. Were you the one doing the whole thing involving the... Whose line are we on?
I think you ranted in the middle of Jess's line.
I did.
I just waited. I tried
I mean,
to cut it,
you guys are
and
welcome
I
to...
just kind of gave up.
You guys are welcome to rant in the middle of my lines, you just never do.
I do sometimes.
Sometimes.
You don't have very controversial lines. I have all the unlucky lines.
She's gotten more of the controversial lines this session.
Ah, yeah.
Almost. As it was, I decided to hold my power over Andu for the time that he pissed me off the most, and said nothing. I understand that it was Andu who helped to get you and Lady K together. How did he do that?
Suspension bridge effect.
I think he meant to say I, but he said A,
Ah.
because he says A nearly popped a vein
Okay.
when she said that.
Yeah, it could have been that he was planning on saying, like, a vein nearly popped and then changed it halfway through. I've been there before. Like, you change a sentence halfway through, but you didn't backspace far enough, and it was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
I must have been worryingly red in the face because Lady K came to my rescue, spinning a tale about Andu persuading me to ask her out. I could have kissed her for saving me, but the story itself made me want to hit something. So I did the only thing that a reasonable British person would do in this situation. I made tea for everyone to avoid conversation.
Stiff up a
Mood.
lip. My family knew about the relationship between myself and Lady K at this point, and as such, sleeping arrangements were devised to keep us apart after hours, with Lady K sleeping in my female cousin's room on an inflatable mattress, and me sharing the lounge with Andu.
Come on. Scroll down.
I have an
Did
issue
my thing
scroll.
fucking freeze again?
Oh my god! What is your computer?
I don't know. It's pissing me off.
I cannot get my hair near as messy as I want it.
That's what you get for cutting it all off like a whore.
Well, no, if it's cut shorter, I can get it to get in more weirder positions. Not enough weight, not as much weight on it, restricting it.
It's not the only thing you can get into weird positions.
Well, yes, I do have some very flexible hips.
Yeah.
Hips don't lie.
There's like just so many ways that I end up standing. I've just had coworkers go like, "So are you able to do the full splits or not?" And I can't. I very much cannot. Like, whoa, shit.
There we go.
But at the same time, I can get my legs to do shit like this. I don't know if this is going to be visible to Ichi-Tan. Maybe if I rotate it like this.
I already know what your legs can do.
Oh, yeah. I remember that moment in the canyon where you just, like, looked down at me and went, "What are you doing?"
Because I didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
I was bracing myself to look at a lizard.
Okay, so by evening, everyone was so full of food. Feeling full and satisfied, we made our way into the lounge to watch some trashy TV Christmas special that was so bad and hammy that it was generally good.
Oh, Christmas
The
story,
atmosphere
got
was...
it.
The atmosphere was chilled out and relaxed, and everyone was comfortably tiddled, meaning slightly drunk for all you Yanks. I do say tiddled.
Yeah, you fucking Kiaboo.
I've just always said tiddled. I always ask somebody if they're tiddled or if they're toasted, because it makes me laugh to say it.
Toasted,
I did not know that was a
smashed,
British thing.
Hammered.
Yeah. Alas, the perfect evening was not to be, as Andrew spotted the silver bracelet on Lady K's wrist, engraved with both mine and Lady K's names, which, like a red flag to a bull, caused him to explode in rage. He poked me in the ribs unexpectedly, causing me to jerk my arm from around Lady K's shoulder to cover my side. Lady K removed her hand from my thigh where it had been resting for the past 10 minutes and looked angrily at Andu. Sorry.
So, he cried, you have labeled her as your own with a token, yet you were too much of a pussy to get her a ring.
Do you want me to read
Oh,
this next
shit.
You
one
read
then?
her.
Whoops.
You read her line.
Whoops. I am very
I'll
tired.
read the next one.
I am very
It's
tired.
okay. You have the Neckbeard voice anyway, it's fine. He spoke as if he had made some great victory over me, loudly so that everyone flaringly looked towards him. Lady K and I were taking our relationship very slowly, and I did intend to marry her at some point, when I had the money to do so, just not now. Lady K was the first to respond with an icy tone and said, "What the hell are you talking about, Andu?" while gesturing with her hand dismissively. Andu didn't like that. Andu wanted the bracelet gone, as though it was the only thing keeping our relationship together, so he grabbed Lady K's wrist and pulled the little silver bracelet viciously off of her wrist.
Fucking psychopath.
Oh, heck nah.
Fucking
You don't
psychopath.
take if a new couple and they give each other gifts and she has a jewelry piece, she will be angry. You don't take her
Mhm.
newly prized.
I'd fucking
Shall we?
beat his ass over something I'd bought for myself.
Mhm.
You don't fucking steal shit off me.
Mm-mm.
She cried out as it dug into her skin, causing angry red marks to appear on her wrist, and then the bracelet snapped, showering the room with little silver beads. The engraved charm with the names on it went flying into the ether,
Oh,
never
boy.
to be seen again. We were all furious, and Lady K ducked out of the room, so I followed her. While the following events were happening, Lady K and I were sat outside on the garden furniture, with me comforting her and general and generally being a good boyfriend. I didn't see what happened next, but my dad told me everything.
Enabler had jumped up and was facing down my mum. He was furious and shouting at Andu. Enabler said some particularly choice words about my mum's parenting skills before my mum went for the killing blow, saying, "At least my son has less mass than a young whale, you bitch."
Willing to bet that hits really hard at a fucking English accent.
Andu then got all up in my mum's face, yelling at her and making as if to hit her. Meaning that my cousin's father and my dad pulled him back and shouted at him. Enabler's face was apparently white as a sheet by this point, whereas Andu's was all red as the Dorito dust on his creased shirt, which bulged at the seams.
Nabler and Andu stormed out of the house, but not before letting Andu go to the toilet.
I am not sure what exactly that entails. That night was much better than I'd hoped, as Andu was no longer taking up half the house, and I got the big sofa to sleep on, which surely would have been stolen by Andu due to his back problems, despite the fact that my feet and head hang off the ends of the smaller sofa. That's curling inward right there. That's weird.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, all I see is your back.
Mm.
Mm. Anyway,
Ichi.
Ichi.
What line?
We
We
never.
never found.
Oh, we never found all the bits of the bracelet. And Andu sure as hell wasn't going to buy a replacement, but in its place, I got Lady K a beautiful necklace instead.
No.
Oh,
No.
oh.
If you ever want some advice, never ever spend Christmas with a neckbeard. They'll ruin the best holiday of the year.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Which still to come and do on D&D, Warhammer 40k, Comic-Con, and more. Alright, that's where we're going to leave that one. Special thank you to Andrew D. Andre D. Andre D, Summer Moon Soldier, and Destiny Bear for supporting us on Patreon. If you like what we do and like to support us, then consider going down to that link in the description and pledging any amount, like pledging for any tier you want. If you don't want to spend money on us, though, that's totally all right. But you still want to help us, yeah, usual YouTube stuff. Whatever. I don't know. Endings are weird. Anyway, I'm Llytic.
I'm dead inside.
A.K.A. Ichigo Kaneko, a.k.a. Ichi-Tan.
And I'm Jess.
And this has been What Are We Reading? Bye-bye.